5:30. We're gonna start our first meeting, our special board meeting for tonight. Let's see. Call to order at 5:30. Adjustments to the agenda for that. I don't believe we have any. We're good. Okay, so we're gonna review the zoning bylaws. Focus on updating state regulations, updating exemptions, revising definitions to match state definitions, adjusting clear expectations, applicant, zoning administrator, and planning commission. So, okay, and it's right. That's the map that got fixed, right?
Yes.
Gary.
Glad someone caught it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So I guess I'm gonna kind of we approved the zoning, the new zoning bylaws, and now it's open for public review and approval. So at this point, Mike, do you want to fill us in where we're at?
Like comments we've gotten so far,
Okay.
things like that. We had our meeting, right, something like this. We had a couple comments. We went from a surveyor, right?
Yep.
Dorothy did a great job of finding a couple little things here and there.
Okay, good.
There was a surveyor that was concerned about the timing for repairing plats, but it almost seemed like he didn't read the next section, which was more about the plats. So he had asked that we had changed the plat requirement to be within 180 days of approval, which I think it already was, right?
It was.
Yeah, it is already that.
Okay.
He just saw like the first bullet.
He didn't read through.
Okay.
And these are Allison's,
Yeah, which we already dealt with.
which we addressed.
Yeah.
So the rural district on the map, a disclaimer about the shoreline district, that it has state regulations, not just what's in the zoning bylaw. So
Okay.
if you purchase a property, you're doing something in the shoreline district and you're reading this, you know, oh wait, there's a whole subset of rules that apply to me also.
Okay.
And then the change of the multi-unit dwellings to reflect the 2020 law. This was, these comments that I just read came from Northeast Vermont Development Association.
Okay.
You haven't had anything since then.
Okay.
What was that last part? I'm sorry, multi-unit what?
Prohibits the denial of small multi-unit dwellings based on an undue adverse effect on the character of the area. And a footnote was added to point that out.
And the new laws that they're coming out with right now are going to expand that. I don't know how they're going to expand it, when they've said you can't deny it, they're going to expand it.
Okay. Do you have any other input on any of this, Dan?
Just that the planning commission has worked extremely hard and done a very thorough job. Don has been excellent throughout. Mike and Mike have both stayed on top of things and addressed a lot of issues that the previous zoning either missed or misstated or was unclear.
Yeah.
So this clears up a lot of the confusion, and it sets it in parameters that everyone can understand.
Okay.
So for me, it's a win-win for the town.
Okay.
The only thing that's not in here, we had the floodplain managers from the state come to us, and they were looking for to update our flood bylaws or possibly incorporate them into here, but it was too premature. We would have to wait to actually implement or put in what they were proposing. So, and we already have a standalone flood bylaw, right? So we were kind of on the fence, well, should we put that in? You know, it's kind of like, let's let time just go. Let them figure out everything they want to figure out, and then they can come back to us. And
I think it's better to have the standalone.
Yeah, that's a good argument. I agree.
Not all towns have it all incorporated, so we're not departing
Okay.
from a norm and not having it incorporated in the
Good.
zoning bylaw.
And they're updating the flood, the FEMA flood maps. So there might be a lot of comment and concern about that. And we thought that this was going to be pretty easy to.
Yeah, I agree. After Irene, a lot of things have changed, so I think they're trying to get things up to date on that.
They've taken the map, basically the old maps were really high resolution. So, you know, looking at the town as a big place, and now this is looking at, I guess, low resolution, now it's high resolution. So really looking down at like the individual parcel,
Okay.
lay of the land. But that's not in here. We have that as our,
Yep.
so.
Okay. What do you guys think?
I think one of the other things that Dan failed to say is that, he has been very, very good at doing his job, and that has brought up a bunch of questions that I think in the past may have just gone by. And so he's been very thorough, and so,
Absolutely, we really
yeah,
appreciate
so
it.
he just really brought up a lot of things that, you know, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't work, and brought those to the planning commission, so that was, because he's doing his job so well, then we realized, well, these rules, that doesn't make any sense, you're right.
Yeah.
You know, so that was,
That's
very-
wonderful, that's,
Right.
yeah, that's made a huge difference.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Dan's been at probably 90% of the meetings, I'd say, and just to bring up like an issue and then a real life example of, well, here, someone built a shed on a property line, you know, or, you know, different real life things that happened here in Groton was really helpful. And he's updated the zoning permit,
Right.
so that's separate from this, but, you know.
Good. Yeah, Dan, we really appreciate, I've always hear good things, so. And you follow up with stuff and deal with it and take care of it and,
Right.
do a great job.
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as the town's concerned, as far as the select board's concerned, we're fortunate to have an active, competent planning commission right now.
I can't tell you how much of a help the planning commission has been to you
Yeah,
and to the zone. I
yeah,
mean, I went 3 years without anybody,
yeah,
and to have people that you can actually go to and correct situations, it makes such a tremendous difference.
yeah. And, you know, I mean, the cooperation between the zoning administrator and the planning commission, you know, I mean, was absolutely critical in, you know, getting those bylaws together, you know. Planning commission being open to listen to what the zoning administrator has to say versus saying, well, we make the laws, Dan, and you just have to deal with it. So, I mean, by all accounts, the board has been here the last couple of years that the planning commission's been doing really good work.
Awesome,
And
awesome.
so-
They're all really good people, good
Yeah.
places.
I mean, I think like the rest of the guys, I didn't read this word for word, but I did look at everything that was in red. So thank you for doing that, presenting it like
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I didn't see anything, any concern with the zoning bylaws that as they've been amended, so. We didn't change anything that you guys presented to us, so.
So,
Yeah, I think the only change is just that the map.
Yeah. Great catch.
No, I mean, I'll echo what Tristan and what Aaron has said is, it's good to see, you know, it's good to see our residents coming together on something like this and having an active planning commission, an active zoning administrator that are working collaboratively to make improvements that are going to help the town of Groton. And I think that that's important to note. And I think that, you know, as I reviewed these and as I've already approved them as a select board, that all of the changes in here are what we need to move forward and be able to regulate the zoning for our town. So I appreciate all the hard work.
is there any questions, concerns, other than what we've discussed?
I don't think so, yeah. Yeah, I'll let you know, we did send this to every neighbor in town, as we were supposed to, we didn't get any comments from that either, so.
Okay.
They send them to us occasionally. I never opened the phone. They send them. I do the same thing with ours, but.
So I guess my only question, Mike, is what's the next step? So we obviously are doing public comment now. Where do we go from here?
Pretty sure our next step is to submit this to the state, along with the certificate that we follow the process.
Gotcha.
Certificate we've been filling out kind of along the way, carries the ultimate signer of it that says, you know, planning commission has a section to fill out. I think select board has like one line, you just sign and say we've had a meeting, this is the date, and here, I don't know what else they asked for, but, they asked where it was posted, and if there's, what comments were received, things like that.
Okay.
So we're at the end, I think it's send it into the
We're at the
state,
end of it.
and send it to the regional planning commission, and I don't think the state's gonna read it and be like, whoa, what are you doing out there in Groton? Like, I think it just gets submitted to like some library somewhere, so,
Yeah.
They file it, so.
yeah.
Okay, good. So I guess at this point, unless there's any other discussion, we're gonna close the meeting on the, public meeting on the zoning. Because we've already approved it, so.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. We're in the process.
Okay, thanks, guys, I really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming out too.
All right,
Okay,
that's part one adjourned.
that's part one.